Hello, so good to see you. It's Rachel Hoffman out here. I am at Turn of the Century Antiques in Denver, Colorado. We film breaking news and entertainment for doll collectors and post it on the internet. And it's one of my very favorite things to do. So thank you so much for being here with me right now. This is a fun moment. I just noticed our little Googly's not in the shot. Let's get her in there. So it's so great to see you, and if you're here with me, please let me know. Right now is an exciting day. It's an exciting day because today is the 2-year anniversary of the launch of the virtual doll convention. The launch happened here at the doll shop, and when I look back on that video from 2 years ago, it's just amazing to see where I was and how far we've come, how far I've come. Just absolutely everything from what was going, when you look back on pictures and you look back on videos, and tell me if the same thing happens to you, that you can remember exactly where you were and exactly how you felt and exactly what was going on in your head. And I'll tell you exactly what was going on in my head when we launched that first video. And also, good morning. This is a coffee date. I have my coffee right here in a big steaming mug that Derek made from these big mugs. Are my absolute favorite because I warm it up a bunch of times throughout the day, and I can get a lot in there. I like a big cup of tea, a big mug of coffee, or a big just whatever it is. So if you got your coffee or you got your drink, let me know as well. Get it up here because we're having a fun little coffee date together. So where I was in that first video 2 years ago this morning, and it was at 9 a.m. I'll never forget it. I was wearing a black sparkly blazer, and my hair was much shorter and darker. And I remember thinking, and it was on a Monday morning, and on the Friday of that weekend, Thursday night, I decided to create a platform, a space, a way for all of us to have a virtual event, a virtual convention. And I remember thinking, and even asking Linda, what if we get 100 people to sign up? What if? And because I didn't know if we were going to get 50 people, 25 people, 100 people. On the first virtual convention, we had 1,000 people. And from when we launched it to when we had the convention was only 5 weeks later. And so many of you, it was around 300 of you signed up on the first day. Having never experienced anything like this before, having not knowing anything that was going to happen, we did it together. And that first one, oh man, it was one of my favorite experiences from the convention. And I just really, every single convention, every single thing that we have done, every event has its own personality and its own way that it shows up in the world and that we experience it together. But in the course of 2 years, it's amazing to see who we have, all the things we have done. And if you're here with me right now, and if you've been with me in the last couple of years, please share with me some of your favorite things that we have experienced, some of your favorite people that we have met, some of your favorite things. I would really love to hear some of your memories of the virtual doll convention and what have been over the last 2 years, some of your favorite things that we have offered and done. We have done absolutely almost there, and there's still, I don't want to say we've done everything because we could do a virtual convention every month for the end of time and still not experience everything that there is to experience in our community and in our world, because we cover so many bases, from dolls to toys to teddy bears to miniatures to sewing to just traveling to lifestyle to cooking to, in the Christmas pageant, we're going to go on antique shopping excursions, and we're going to go look at Christmas lights, and we're going to go just do fun things. So nothing is off limits, but if you have been with me since the beginning, please let me know. And also, if you can, in the comments, please share with me what some of your favorite experiences have been. What was most meaningful to you, what you remember when you think of our experiences together, what you look back on. When I say virtual doll convention, what is one of the things that pops into your head first? I mean, from the downloads to Diana Vining's artwork, just there's so many things that we have accomplished as a community and experience that today is a beautiful day for me, because I get to spend the whole day thinking about this and being grateful for this. And just when I woke up this morning and I realized it was our 2-year anniversary, my jaw dropped, also just thinking about what has transpired in the last 2 years. We've been to Australia, we've been to Paris, we've done all of these amazing things, and we got to share it as a community. Life is so much better experienced as a community. And in everything that I do and everything that I post, that's the key, and that's what I hold most dear, and what I always want to do is to make it a communal experience, to where, come on in. The water's warm. Let's experience this together. If I don't know the answer, we'll find out. We'll figure it out, and then I'll report back. So every single one of you has been just such a big piece of this puzzle, and a big part of this. All the sharings and all the comments and how we do it. We run our platform through the internet, through social media, through sharing, through comments, through interaction, and it would be nothing without you. We wouldn't have any of that. So you are such a big part of this day and the virtual convention of what it is today. And you have done, it's because of you. We're partners in this. We have a partnership, if you didn't know that. We're partners, because I couldn't do it without you and you couldn't do it without me. And that's how a partnership works, is we work together to create bigger things by working together than we could as if we were on our own, which I don't ever want to be on my own. I need you guys. We do these things together, and we just, oh man, we have a great time. So because it is a coffee date, I'm going to take a sip of coffee. What are you drinking out there? Let me know what you're drinking if you are. This is just black straight up coffee, but if you have a little, what do you call it? What's that creamer that has rum in it? You know what I'm talking about? If you have a little of that in there, I'm not judging, but I don't. It's plain black. What is that stuff called? Forgetting, of course. So, and thank you so much for sharing your things, your memories and everything like that. So, first of all, what I want to ask you is, I just have a couple of questions because we haven't checked in for a while, and I love knowing how you are for real. And so what I want to know right now is, how are you doing? How are you really doing? And it's okay to be doing however you're doing, which is, some days I'm doing so great. I'm Irish cream. Thank you, Patrice. Irish cream. You know the kind that Irish cream? Anyway, some days I am, Bailey's. Nancy's drinking one with Bailey's and whipped cream. Yum. That sounds so good. Yeah, that sounds so good. Okay, so now I can get back to what I was saying. But some days, things are just going great. Your head's clear. You feel confident about the future. You're having a good day. You're happy. Your mood is good. And then some days we're just human. It's just part of being human, where everything feels harder, or maybe you're extra emotional about something. And the thing about emotions and our feelings is, they're there because they're supposed to be there. You're supposed to feel feelings, and you're supposed to have emotions, and we're not robots, and we're not wired one particular way that we have to be happy all the time or on all the time. And one of the things that I discovered over the last couple of years is that I can be a human and I can be me just being a human and being me. I don't have to perform. I don't have to be any certain way to be worthy to be in this world. And that's one of the things that I have to remind myself, and that I always try and remind you, is that it's important to know that there's nothing you have to earn in your place in this world. And that has been a big thing for me that I'm constantly still working on all the time, is what am I doing? What is my role? But the original question is, how are you doing? So tell me how you're doing. Tell me how you're doing. If it's, and I'll tell you how I'm doing. I'm doing good. We're good. Everyone is healthy. I am safe. I have coffee. I have everything I need. I have food. I have all of the essentials. My dogs are doing good. My family is doing well. My dad's doing well. So, and some days, it's tough. But this journey for me in doing the Christmas pageant has been, a great thrill, but it's also been one of the hardest things that I have ever accomplished as far as like logistics and physically putting it on and bringing the things here and getting everything ready and stuff. So there's been a lot of days. There has been several days where I have just felt like, and where I just want to do all these things, and I've had to just say, nope, I can't do everything. I can't do all of these things. But there have been days where I just felt, very tired, very just kind of worn thin. And I think that anybody that does any kind of event or in anything, they know, and there's a lot of moving parts, but it's just all worth it. It's all so worth it. So right now, here today, in this moment, I'm grateful. Today I'm doing really good, but I want to know how you're doing. So I also want to know if you have any big updates or things that you want to share with me. I love celebrating what's going on and your wins. So it's really nice to hear about big things that are happening, or even small things, or just any updates at all. If you are looking forward to something, or you just bought a great doll that you're looking forward to receiving, or you can tell me about a book that you're reading, or a recent meal that you made for your family that they really enjoyed. How is your health? Whatever you want to share, good and bad, I'd like to know something. So Karen said, I'm in remission with lupus. Well, Karen, that's wonderful. I know you've been working very hard on your health and just working very hard. So I'm really, really glad to hear that. Thank you so much for sharing. So yeah, tell me if you have any big updates or anything that's going on. Glenda said it's okay to do nothing for a whole day. Very rejuvenating. That's very true. It is. And sometimes I get caught up in guilt of, because I think I have to work all the time. And as a business owner, I know a lot of you understand that. And when you were maybe you're in this spot right now, but I am in a spot of my life where it really is my time to hustle and to work really, really, really hard to get to where I need to be. So some days I do have a hard time just normalizing rest in my head. Normally I get up every morning and hit the treadmill first thing and have Derek's lunch packed and do all this stuff by 6 a.m. And lately, just in this month, I have not done the treadmill, even though I want to do everything. The work I'm doing here is so like physical for me. It's physical, like I'm moving, I'm in the attic, I'm doing all these things. But in the mornings now lately, as much as I love the treadmill, I've just been having coffee and just kind of chilling and watching the news for that 45 minutes that I would normally be walking. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that I'm a failure. It doesn't mean that I'm not holding up my end of the bargain. It's just how my life needs to go right now. So if you have something like that too, just remember what I said. It's just how your life needs to go right now. And my life right now sort of feels like I'm on a treadmill all the time. As you can imagine, yesterday I was here working, and no, actually I was up at the coffee shop up the street in the drive-thru getting some coffee, and I had a big sign on my door saying, if you are here with a big delivery, because we never know until the morning of when they're going to show up with the big deliveries. It's always like kind of like when they can. And of course, it was Wednesdays when everyone else doesn't work here and I work here, and the dolls showed up, and then the Helen Kish sample showed up, and just so many different things. The news showed up. So it's sometimes you just need to conserve your energy and space for other things. And I think that's kind of the period that I am right now, is that I'm not doing the treadmill because I'm treading here at the doll shop. So, but I'm looking forward to, after this event is over, to get back into doing the things that I do, which is, I do enjoy the treadmill. So anyway, kind of got off on a little treadmill tangent right there, but Isla said, I've been very busy with a project. I'm sending a little something for you in the mail today. Oh, that is so sweet. Thank you so much. Wendy said, I've been busy hustling dolls for Santa. I love hustling dolls. Girlfriend, hustling dolls is one of my favorite things to do. And however you want to put it into context of hustling dolls, I hustle dolls all day, every day. And it is, sometimes it's like crazy, because you just can't even like figure out where to start or what to do when you have a big project. Sometimes hustling dolls for me looks like dressing them and getting the marketing done for them, and getting photographs done. And I mean, that whole thing in itself is just such a big part of my job. Marcy said she's watching Hallmark channels. You know what? Watching Hallmark channels in your jammies and just hanging out all day is such a freaking good idea. That is a brilliant idea, I think. And especially this time of year, just give yourself a chance to relax. After this event, I'm going to, after everything is shipped, and I have all of these things, like after the weekend after this event is my best friend's baby shower, and we're having it here at the shop. It is her first child. We have been best friends since we were 14, and I'm hosting it. So I think it'll be really exciting to have her baby shower here. We're very excited about it. So that's in the morning, and then in the evening, I'm hosting my mom's doll club, to have them come and just thank them for everything and all their support and everything they've done. So we have two big events next weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend, but I can't even think about those really. Well, the baby shower, and I'm thinking about it, but you know what I mean? Like right now in this moment, this is what I'm doing, and then that will be what I'm doing. But it's amazing how much you can get accomplished in a day. David Warren said, hustling dolls, doll thug life. I love that. Doll thug life. That's so good. So here we are, and I would like to know, so you told me you're sharing some updates about, don't you just hate it when you get those crank calls? I get them all the time. So the next thing is, I would like to know from your standpoint, and from our, we're friends here, and we're all friends, and we read each other's comments, and it's very important that we connect with each other and share. And I would like to know from you what you think in life, what risks are worth taking. What risks are worth taking? Oh, that's kind of a big one. So for me, and this year, and just everything, I have had to take risks, because I have done all kinds of things, and you know what it takes for me to be here and to run this company and to just even afford to stay here. I have made it no secret that the property taxes on this land that I have inherited, and just the cost of being here, is a lot. And it has been a very big undertaking, and I've had to think of very creative ways to market myself, and to market our company, and to market our doll shop, and what products to invest in, what to focus on, what not to focus on, and a lot of different things. And when I this year, I spent, I think I've said, I spent $40,000 replacing our roof. I spent tens of thousands just in the renovation and the other things that we have done. We've had to replace piping, and we've had to we replaced the bathroom here up front, and we've had to just all these things started to almost fall apart this year on the property, and I needed to fix it. I'm not trying to make it. I wasn't trying to make it like to spend stupid money. I had to, and a lot of those things were just a lot of choices. And so when I think about the risks that are worth taking, they're big decisions to do that, and to bring Tonner dolls to market, and to buy holiday dresses, and to do all these things. And I knew, I had faith, and I have complete faith in what I am doing and how I do it, that I know that I should take the risk because I have trust in the universe. I have trust in the universe. And that's one of the big things in my life that I feel is, like, for me, one of the big things that I feel is worth risk taking is in the doll business for me, is trying new things. And even when I said to Tomas Kish yesterday about the Kish outfit, because it's a lot of money to order these things. And when you put in an order at a factory, you have to give them half down, and you're still not going to have the product for months. And so you have to pay for it like way before you have it. And so there's just a lot that goes on in this, and it's all new to me. Before I've started all of these things that we've done, we were mostly antique dolls, and that it's in its own thing is a risk-taking thing too, because when you're buying dolls like googlies and stuff to resell and stuff like that, sometimes your profit margins are just so slim, and you have to, none of it's predictable. That's the thing, is this, none of it's predictable. But for me, one of the biggest things that for me has been worth taking the risk is what I am doing in the doll community, what I am doing in the world, and seeing how it goes. And I do just have trust that we're going to be okay, and that we're going to have fun. So that for me. But what is one of the things for you? One of the things, and that can be love. That can be, Christine said, faith and trust in the universe has a lot to do with creating the quality of life. I love that. It's so true. It's so true. I have faith and I have trust. And because I have that trust is why I am able to take risks. Why I have been able to not play it safe this year. And by not playing it safe, I mean taking my safe money and investing it back into the health of the property. Taking my safe money and investing it into buying product for the company. I could operate just in a very safe manner, but I'm not. And some days it is very scary. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that one. Some days it is very scary. I lay awake at night thinking, crunching the numbers, thinking, if this doesn't go well, where am I gonna stand? If this doesn't go the way that I hope it will and the way that I think it will, like what's gonna happen? And so I always, even though I do take risks, I always have a safety net that's enough too, just in case. So even when I take the big risks, I still have like my emergency plan, which I think is really important. For me, I don't want to take too big of a risk that if it went south, which this happens to everybody, I have probably failed more than I've succeeded in everything. I mean, maybe that's an overstatement, but I have failed, and you never win or lose, you just learn something, but it didn't go well, tons of times in my life, but I make sure that I plan enough that I'm not going to be homeless or anything. So, but yeah, let me know what risks are worth taking. And to piggyback on that, I'm going to have a sip of coffee now. How are we doing out there? How are we doing? So good to see you. Maureen says, I do not take risk unless I absolutely have to, and then I don't fool around. I make a decision and follow through. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Hi, Uncle John. John Port's tuning in. John said, failures teach us how to succeed. It's so true. Oh man, I look back on some of the stuff I've done and where it didn't go well and where I lost money and what I did. And every single time I think, what is the opportunity to learn here? What is the opportunity to learn here? And sometimes that failing makes it so the next time you can make so much more money that next time when you lost it. And you know, so anyway, Diane says, I always wanted my own shop, so I did it for a year. It didn't work out, but it was still worth the risk. I really think it's important to try things and to risk it, and to just in my personal life, in my business life, I have tried a lot of things. I have taken many risks, some that I have not told you about that hopefully I will share with you soon or sometime. There's a lot to all of our stories. And Barbara said, failure teaches us our strength and weaknesses. Yes, it does. So it really does. So on that, I want to know from you that what you consider a good life. What makes a good life? What makes a good life? That one we could talk about all day. That one we could talk about all day. So I'm going to take a sip of coffee, and then we're going to think about and share what makes a good life. Oh. For me, the thing that is paramount that makes a good life is gratitude. Your friends and family, your real friends and family, the ones that you know are just going to be with you forever, through thick and thin, through that you can really, really, really trust. Trust is such a huge thing. Faith is very important. Bellanne Curry just said love, family, passions, and faith. Absolutely. Bellanne sent a wonderful menorah for our gingerbread house. It is in our gingerbread house, and some wonderful Hanukkah ornaments. And, you know, faith is very important to me. Faith is a very, very, very personal thing. And it's important to stay true to your faith and to your family and your friends and the few people that mean a lot to you. Believe it or not, I have all of you in a wonderful, social way that we do this. But in my off-screen life, I have a very, very small world, a very, very small group. I keep my world very small. I have, as far as people I hang out with and stuff like that, I mean, you see me doing a lot of things, but I really focus on, and my mom was the exact same way, I really focus on my family, my faith, my business, and I just try to keep that very, very close to me. Health is another thing that makes a good life. And every day that I wake up is a privilege. Every day that I try to never complain about things like superficial, and it's easy for us to complain about weight gain and to worry about things, but it's also a privilege to be here to gain weight. I've gained weight this year. I don't know how many of us have not. Some of us have gotten fit. But it's okay, because it's a privilege to be able to be here to eat the food that we're eating and eat the treats that we're eating. And, so anyway, on that subject, it's like this whole year in the past, when somebody has been kind enough to bring a nice treat or whatever, or Derek makes like a fabulous dinner and I want seconds, I'm going to. So Carol said, my world is small too, my family and my friends, but they are all mostly in Canada. It's okay to have a small world. I do. I keep my world very small, and I've had to create a lot of boundaries for myself as well, just in the last couple of years too, as my visibility has widened on the internet, because as you know, 99.9% of the comments and outreach that I receive is just wonderful and positive and wonderful. So I hate to even talk about any of the stuff that is not good, because it doesn't happen that much. But I've had to create boundaries as far as my intake of things and how often I open my direct messages, like on Instagram or Facebook or just whatever. It's people, and I appreciate the community and so much of people coming to me and wanting my advice, but you can imagine how much of that I get, and just people asking me all the questions about like everything, and I don't know how to answer a lot of things. Like I don't know about how to do a lot of things. I've never said I'm an expert in anything, but I get a lot of questions, and then I feel guilty if I don't answer. And then sometimes if I don't answer, just because I'm protecting my own energy, I'll get more, and then they'll say, "Are you there?" And it's just like, so that's a balancing act. But I try to put enough amount in that every week, and just try really hard. And then when I'm off screen, I keep it really simple. I get up in the morning. My dogs bring me a lot of joy. They're part of what has made for me a good life. Animals. I am just so grateful to have a home. I am grateful to have my dad and to live next door. So yeah, just really simple things. Very, very simple, small interactions. Keep it simple. That's what I do. So yeah, share with me some of your things about what makes a good life. So there's a lot of things. And my simplest joys are not, it has never been for me. It's fun to do things like fly first class, or eat a fancy meal in a restaurant, or put on a fabulous outfit. I love fashion. But when I look back on my life, all of the things that remind me of the happy times are never, sometimes they are, but it was usually with the people I was with, or the conversations we had, or the laughs we've had. And when I think about a lot of the wonderful times in my life, it was usually on things that were free, like going for a hike or going for a walk with my family or my childhood. Just things that were not, like, I don't remember. I'm sure I got some very over-the-top presents. I know I did. But I think of the memories and the good times, and just laughing and playing with sticks and going to the park and, things like that. So it's a lot of the things that are not, a lot of my experiences with you over the last few years have been some of the greatest times of my life. Yeah. Do you ever think of the alternative? And when I say the alternative, it's like, and it's okay to think about the alternative. Sometimes we might feel guilty about thinking of the alternative, but the alternative sometimes, like for me, when I say the alternative of what I am doing now, the alternative for me would have been liquidating everything in this shop and selling the property and walking away with a lot of money to live a different life. And, I thought about it, because everybody thinks about stuff. And when I think about the alternative, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, because I love getting up every day. And even though it's a challenge, and for me to stay here and to be here every single day is something that as a business owner, I have to think about. My brain thinks about the company and everything that I have to do, all the time, all day, every day. There's probably not a decision that I make that doesn't have something to do with, the company and the health of what I'm doing. But the alternative would have been closing up. And so I know a lot of us sometimes think about the alternative, which is getting out of the business, or not collecting anymore, or selling everything, or I don't know, running away and living in a van by the river. And it's okay to think about it, but also sometimes when you think about it, it helps you appreciate so much more what you have. Because when I think about not having this place and not having you to talk to and to have as friends and to have this community and these conversations and to have all this fun with the dolls, that to me sounds awful. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I am really, really grateful that I get to live my present, and I'm not, and maybe life we have found is so unpredictable. It's so unpredictable. And so your alternative is not always a bad thing. Sometimes we have to pivot and just make changes and do things for the good of ourselves. John said the key to having balance in your life, and you are doing it, Rachel, you are doing it right, love. Oh, the key is to have balance. Oh, it is. Uncle John Port, he is very wise. And it's true. The balance is tough. Balance can be a tough thing. And I'll be honest, like right now with the virtual convention and everything in this event, there is no way that you can put on an event or do anything like what I am accomplishing right now, and in the weeks leading up to it, have some things go on the back burner. So yeah, the treadmill has gone on the back burner. Eating my healthy meals that I truly enjoy has gone on the back burner. I've been eating on the fly and just ordering in. And, sometimes you just can't, because when I have to be here and do my thing and get the photography done and get the stuff done and meet my deadlines, I can't pack my lunch. So yeah, it's really important to have balance and to just take a second when you get through maybe that hard part that you're just working those late nights. I did not get to where I am right now, and I will not get to where I need to be without putting in the work and sometimes drawing those curtains closed, putting my head down and just doing the work. And that's where I am right now in my life. So I don't know, things are just gonna, sometimes you get that question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? And if you know the answer to that, please tell me. Please tell me, because, Eloise said, is there someone out looking for your well-being? Oh, and Eloise, and anyone out there listening, please don't think I'm not taking care of myself. I drink plenty of water. I take my vitamins. I am well fed. Derek has been cooking a lot. I order, we have plenty of groceries. I have Amazon Prime come on in, Linda. I have Amazon Prime that delivers groceries. So it's not, I go to bed every night. Please don't think I'm not like taking care of myself. I hope you know that I meant it in a way that I can't do everything that I want to do for this event without putting in the work and the long hours. And that's just what you have to do to do great things in life sometimes. So that's what I meant. Everyone here at the shop is working overtime, but and they're happy to do it. So anyway, so what was I even saying? I forgot what I was even saying, you guys. I was saying something and then I got interrupted. So not interrupted, but my thought interrupted. My thoughts interrupted my thoughts. But it's really fun to be here and to chat with you. So Carol says, doing something that fills the soul, passionate about. Yes. So Patrice said, realizing I could not do it by myself. Oh man, for sure. For sure. I have a large team. I have a large team here. And Eric just walked in. I'm sure he has been working very hard over the last few days. Well, I know he has, but like yesterday, he's not here, but he worked on our videos all day. He does our photography, editing. Linda does the doll magic. Stanley does our packing and repair. Stephanie does so much doll cleaning. I mean, I have a wonderful, wonderful team. Barbara said I was talking about putting in the work. That's right. Because your dreams and your passions a lot of times in life, they don't just get handed to you. This shop and everything that I have had to do here was not put out for me on a blueprint. I have had to figure it out. And things in life don't work unless you do. And I know that you understand that because you are a group of people that have accomplished great things. Oh, thank you, David. I was talking about where I'd like to be in 5 years. Okay. So thank you. If you know, and have you ever been asked that? I've been asked that in interviews and things like that. And I don't think about where I'm going to be in 5 years, because what I care about is where I am today and what I am doing tomorrow and what it's going to be next week and what it's going to be, like today, packing Derek's lunch, feeding the animals. Last Sunday was Paul's birthday. And as the new president of the family, if I didn't, and I have slowly realized this, that after my mom's passing, my mom always made sure everyone had great birthdays and that everyone was celebrated and that there was a cake purchased and that we all got together. And if I didn't do all that, it wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened. So, for me, that's what I really focus on, is like, what am I going to cook for Christmas this year? What, do I have enough water in the shop for everybody to drink? I think about that kind of stuff. I don't worry about what's going to happen in 5 years very much, because I can't control that. I didn't know what was going to happen. Look at this year. If you start, for me, and this is for me, but if I start planning like how it's going to go and what my 5-year plan, and by 10 years and by 35 and by this and that, it's just nothing ever works out for me the way that I planned. So I try to really stay in the present and think about, what are the bills that I have to pay next week? What are the things that I have to do? How can I be prepared? Where are the buttons for that shipment? Where are you know what I mean? So I really try to focus on, do I have enough groceries like in the house? Do I have enough yogurts for Derek's lunch? Stuff like that. Just the immediate need in my community and in my life right now. So I try not to torture myself with the 5-year plan or the 10-year plan. As a female and somebody that wants children, there's certain things that I have to think about and plan and know that I have to get a move on. But, for the most part, it's like I'm worrying about what I'm trying to do right now. Can I pay my mortgage one day one day, one meal at a time? Sometimes it's just one breath at a time. But yeah, no, I don't torture myself with thinking about that. So let me know what you do too. Wendy said, focus on one day at a time, 1 week at a time. That's exactly what I've been doing. I take it in like little chunks. Okay, so and I put like notes in my phone too of, what I need to accomplish that day. And I get all of that stuff accomplished, or try to, that day. And I start with my three biggest needle drivers of that day, which are for me the biggest things that I need to do. And I do those. It's amazing what you can accomplish in a day. And then I have things that would be nice to accomplish if I have the extra capacity in the space. And then if I do all that, then it's like then it's like a gift. But yeah, just focusing on what I need to do right now, like what's going to be happening in the next couple weeks. John says, I live in the present as much as possible. It's so much easier since life takes twists and turns. It really does. I just have to share with you that when I was in California, I was supposed to go spend the night at John Port's house, and it was going to be so fun. And we had matching PJs and everything that we were going to do. And then his water got turned off for the day because of something that was completely out of his control. And so we had to cancel it, so it's like, and now his water's back on and everything's fine. But as we all know, there are so many things that can just change every day. So when I take that control off of my plate, which I have taken the control, I have released the control. I do not have control. I have control of some things, such as how many products I order, how I pack things, the outfits I wear, things that I say. I take big responsibility for how I do things. Those are the things I can control. making sure that like certain things are done. That's what I can control. But everything else, staying flexible has been one of my superpowers, and being able to just pivot and just be honest with people. That's been one of the biggest things. When things have been canceled or it just didn't go the way that I planned or whatever, instead of trying to come up with a story or an excuse, the biggest thing that I've been able to do is just share what's been going on. And that has served me so well. I have never gone wrong that way, by just saying, okay, here's what was planned to happen, but here's what actually happened, and here's what I'm going to do. And so if you ever find yourself in a situation like that where you might be embarrassed about something, it's really hard, because I'll get like embarrassed, or I'm like, oh, and I don't want to let people down and this and that, but just be honest. Just be honest and tell people where you are, because I believe that everybody out there, I believe this, and I know this, is that you are such amazing people, and you are willing to meet people where they are. So if you can't go somewhere, or you can't do something, or your heart doesn't allow something, and you said you could, but now it's harder, that has been a really hard thing for me, to just say, I don't have the capacity, and here's why. And, nobody has ever looked down on me for that, or judged me or anything. So just stay true to who you are. It's a lot easier to show up in the world exactly how you are, unapologetically, and just be yourself. You don't have to know everything about everything. I have this doll shop, and I'm doing all of these things, and I want to have incredible experiences and do awesome things and all of these things. And am I an expert in everything? No. Do I learn stuff every day? Absolutely yes. Do I go on camera sometimes and get my dates wrong and my countries wrong and mispronounce things? And yes. Do I rewatch videos and just think, oh my gosh, why did you say it like that? Or, yes. So none of us are perfect. We're all trying. That's what I know right now, is that I am in this right now, and I know how hard I'm trying. And I know how hard you're trying. I know how hard you're trying, and I know how much it takes every day to show up. Patrice says, I am socially awkward. It's hard for me to, let's see what else she said. It's hard for me to tell folks that I'm having a bad day. Yes, I get that, Patrice. And it is hard to, one of the things that is hard to do is to ask for help, and to tell people that you're having to share with people that you're having a rough time and a bad day. It was very freeing for me when I let myself do that with you. It was very freeing for me over the last year when I let myself cry in front of you. And it was so healing too, because these were all feelings that I had that I wanted to share that were bottling up. They were bottling up. And to be able to put it out there like that was incredibly freeing, and I was only met with understanding. So the only advice I have there for where it's hard to tell people and stuff like that is to start and to try a little bit. I didn't get to a place where I can share and be who I am overnight. I still post stuff and think, was that too much? Did I share too much? Was I too this or too that? I look at my stuff all the time and I think, did I do that right? Should I have not gone there? So it's all normal. It's all so completely normal. And when you look at me and think that I have it together and it's just all like, I know exactly what I'm doing all the time. I don't. I do not. I just try my best. That's what I told Stanley the other day, because he was just having a rough time. Sometimes it just this time of year and just everything, it is tough. And I just said, Stanley, we're going to try our best, and that's what we're going to do. And it took pressure off of him too, because he just was like, you know, you're right. We're going to try our best and do the best we can. So friends are here to share in your grief and to share in your feelings and to share with you so you don't have to walk through these things alone. So this and sharing my journey, it's something that we have all been able to understand because we have all been through rough times. We have all lost somebody we love and we care about, and we all know what it's like to be human and to not get it right and to worry about what others think and to get our feelings hurt and to make mistakes and to have all of that stuff. And so I think when you share, it gives other people permission to do the same. And so that's one of the reasons why I share so much is, number one, because it's freeing for me to just tell you what's going on, to just share that I'm having a bad day, to share that it's really tough right now or whatever, and to share our victories too. So all of us have just, we understand. Do I know what it's like to have gone through a lot of the hard stuff that you have gone through? No. Do you know what it's like to go through some of the hard stuff I've gone through? No. But we can all appreciate each other's hearts. And Diana just said, nobody's perfect, but you do such great things. That's very true. That's very true. So on the 2-year anniversary of, virtual doll convention, I don't even know why I picked her up. It's kind of a nervous habit. Not a nervous habit, but she was just kind of glistening in my eye. But, we've been there, done that. A lot of the people that are watching have been in periods of their life when they didn't have enough food, or where they were homeless, or where they had to escape a domestic situation, or somebody in their family suffered a tragic illness. And in overcoming those things and resting in the knowledge that you made it through and that you're here and you're living and you're breathing and you exist today, that's an incredible purpose. And when you share your story and when you share with somebody else what you had to go through to be where you are, that is a wonderful thing that you can do for the world. By sharing where you are and sharing how you got there and sharing how you overcame. Because sometimes we see somebody else's point B without knowing their point A, or their point C without knowing A and B. We see their big collections and their wonderful things and just maybe assume that it's always been that way for them or whatever. But you have a story, and it's important to share your story and to listen to other people's stories. So that's why it's really wonderful to be here. We have not had our official unveiling for the people that have wondered, but I wanted to have my girls with me in the video because we will have an official unveiling of the outfits and the dolls where I talk about all of the wonderful things they come with and why they're so special. But I have worked really hard to have them right here, and they got delivered yesterday, and the outfits and just everything. And I wanted them here with me because this and just where I'm sitting has just been two of the biggest things that I have worked on and worked for this year. And dolls give us a tremendous amount of strength, and we can look at them and sometimes just forget about the tough times and just be transported into a magical world of love and peace and joy and fun and fellowship and camaraderie. And that's a lot of what this has been for me. So we're going to have a big grace party at the convention. Don't you worry. We're going to have a lot of fun. But I wanted my girls here to just kind of be a part of this too. It's our 2-year anniversary at virtual, and they're all of this, all of you, all of the dolls, everything is just a huge part of our story. So I want to thank you so much for being here and for sharing with me today. I really love you and appreciate you so very much. And I hope that our event that we're coming up with is a blast and fills us with so much joy and gratitude and love, and that we can just let go. I have planned some things for the event that I just wonder, what are they going to think about this? Are they going to think this is cheesy? Are they going to love this? You know, and then I've just decided to just let it go and just have fun with it. And I hope that you do too. I hope you do too. I want to thank you so much for everybody that has registered for the virtual convention. I've seen every name come through. I've seen every donation come through. I haven't been able to reach out personally to all of you because there's over 1,000 of you, and I'm hoping we'll have more. So please register if you have not. But I've seen the numbers, and you know, I'm looking at you right now. If you have donated and you have done this, I am thanking you right now. I know a lot of you have made sacrifices to donate and to be here, and you continue to show up and to help each other. So I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful. So we're gonna have fun. I'm just gonna put it out there, and if something goes wrong, you know, it's kind of one of these things that's like, I'm putting this together. I'm doing my best. Am I worried about if something goes wrong? You know, that's the beauty of just honesty and just saying, hey, here's what went wrong. Here's what we're doing about it. Right now it is what it is, which it is an incredible thing that we have put together. When I say it is what it is, I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, oh, it's an incredible thing, but we can do what we can, and we're going to do it together. So thank you so much. I really love you. And I really appreciate you. Thank you for being here on the 2-year anniversary. I'm going to go warm up my coffee because I just realized that I did all the talking and I really didn't drink much of this coffee. So I'm going to go warm it up and go work with the crew that just got here. They're probably just all waiting for their marching orders. I'm usually not chatting when they get here. We usually have a team meeting and then we say like what our plan is for the day. So I better go do that. Okay. Deborah, I am so glad I have added happiness back into your life. You have added happiness back into my life too, girlfriend. I appreciate your comments so much. I don't always get to respond to all of them, but I read and appreciate every single one of your comments, every single one of your hearts. Rest assured that when you comment, when you share, I see it. And I appreciate it so much. It never goes unnoticed. It never goes unnoticed, and it never goes unappreciated. So I'm about to go into my team meeting. I feel like we just had ours. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure to get on the virtual convention schedule and just get in line for everything that we have happening. And let's get ready to roll. Are you ready to roll? Grace is. Girlfriend, she's ready to rumble. Robert Tonner is showing us the way. I'm going to talk more about these outfits that were in this video tomorrow night. Ooh, tomorrow night is our grace party. Are you excited? I am. Oh man, lots to talk about. Lots to see. Okay, this was a great huddle. Group hug, everybody. Let's have it. Get in there. Get in there. Put your arms out. Put your arms out. I'm putting mine out. Here we go. I'm probably sweating. That's one of the things that I do is I sweat. Because I'm human. Okay. We ride at dawn. Tomorrow is the start of our convention. And I keep calling it a convention. It's not a convention. It's a pageant. It's a celebration. It's a party. It's not a convention. But it's powered by the virtual doll convention. So it is whatever we want it to be. Am I right? All right. Big hugs. Big hugs. Mwah. Mwah. It was so fun. Thank you so much for being here. Love you to the moon and back. And we'll see you very soon, everybody. Bye.